The sky over the Ruhr Valley was a frozen hell. Icing winds sheared against the fuselage of the B-17 Liberty Bell. Flak bursts painted the air with black. Inside the radio room, Tech Sergeant Charlie Chuck Weldon had his headphones clamped tight. But they couldn't block the sounds, the guttural roar of the No. 2 engine failing, the frantic shout of fighters. 3 o'clock high. And beneath it all, the high, relentless scream of the wind through countless bullet holes. His job was to monitor the command frequency, a stream of static and terse, panicked voices. He was a link in a chain, cold, terrified, and utterly alone in his little metal alcove. His hands were numb, and a different kind of cold was seeping into his gut. "This is it," a quiet voice said. "This is how you end, a frozen statistic at 25,000 feet. Then, cutting through the chaos, not on the radio, but bleeding through the airframe itself, came a new sound. Faint at first, then stronger. A deep, thrumming, rhythmic thump, 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 thump. It was raw, unmusical, and utterly human. It was the tail gunner, Pipes O'Malley, beating his gloved fist against the metal frame of his turret. A moment later, the waist gunner joined in, pounding a spent shell casing against a bulkhead with a metallic clang, clang, clang. Then the ball turret gunner, from his glass bowl beneath the plane, added a frantic, jittering rat-a-tat-tat on his own housing. It wasn't a song, it was a heartbeat. The desperate, pounding pulse of the bell herself, announcing she was still alive. Chuck found his frozen hand curling into a fist. Without thinking, he joined, pounding the heel of his hand against his radio set in a steady, solid thud-thud-thud. One by one, every man who wasn't actively firing a gun or flying the plane joined the cacophony. The navigator tapped his compass. The bombardier slapped his sighting console. It became a ragged, roaring, defiant percussion section over the engine's scream. The German fighters peeled away, perhaps confused by the strange, thunderous vibration emanating from the wounded bomber. Leveling out. The pilot's voice crackled, strained but in control, heading for the cloud bank. Hold on. The pounding didn't stop. It grew stronger, more unified. Chuck pounded his console until his hand ached. His breath coming in white clouds, a fierce grin splitting his face. They were a box of men in a broken bird, screaming their presence to the uncaring sky with the only thing they had left, noise.